Hello and welcome. I'm DJ Michael Joseph, and this is Music and Mixing. If this is your first time joining us here on the show, welcome. We normally do a kind of an open thing at the beginning where we just kind of wait for people to get into the chat, welcome them, and do some shout outs. But I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that tonight. I kind of want to jump into what we're doing. I'm going to show a lot of pictures. I think my camera's off wackadoodle here, because I want, if someone picks this up and watches this on demand afterwards, I want them to be able to kind of like just jump right into it and not have to sit through a whole lot. So we're just going to take a couple seconds to make sure everything's good in the feeds, because we are feeding to about 12 different places tonight. So we just want to make sure everybody's getting what they need to get there. So we're taking a look at the chat. Say hello to Chris and Jason. What's going on? Welcome, guys. I'm going to be covering everything that I use for my live streaming DJ stuff, and here kind of covering both of them. I have it set up there because afterwards I'm going to be doing a live set on Instagram. I've never done one on Instagram because I'm going to be doing it on Instagram through a computer, which I know many of you are saying, how do you do that? And I will show you how to do that tonight. But we just want to take a couple seconds here to make sure everybody gets in that has any questions, anybody wants to watch, stuff like that. I want to see who's all in here. And then we're going to jump right into it. Weekend projects with Carlos. What's going on? Hello, Disc Jockey News. So making sure everybody's there. It should be an interesting night. Like I said, my camera's all wacky doodle here. So I'm kind of like getting everything set up. So I apologize. I spent like the whole day today working on some stuff. Programming stuff, different stuff I have going on while this time is off. I'm actually busier than I think I've ever been because I'm actually doing a lot of projects that I had held off before. So I'm actually trying, looking at new music services. I'm testing I'm doing some more customization to virtual, and I have some stuff coming up for that I've been testing on it. I've actually been in touch with one of the creators of the one skin that I use, Denyo, and been talking a little bit of code with him. Not much. I mean, I can't keep up with him, but doing a little bit of stuff in there that I probably should have known how to do already, but he's helping me out. So big shout out to him for making such a great skin for virtual and helping me out get all the little details that I want to tweak to it. So we're just checking again to see who else is coming into the chat, and then we're just going to jump right on into it tonight. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of stuff to cover. Hold your questions till the end, because that's probably about the only way I'm going to be able to get to all of them is at the end, because I'm going to be covering everything tonight. So, I mean, literally hardware, software, attachments, everything. I'm covering it all tonight. And I hope that it helps you guys, because right now it is absolutely my number one question that I get all the time. What do you use for streaming? What programs do you use for streaming? What websites do you use for streaming? What hardware do you use for streaming? All these kinds of things. And I'm covering it all tonight. I'm absolutely covering it all. So I think everybody here, I think make sure my mic's not too loud. I'm seeing it jump way up into the red there. So I tend to talk loud. So again, welcome everybody. If you don't know what Music and Mixing Show is, this show is basically built around the mixing DJ, and it's about people who do the style of DJing where you're actually mixing. And I cover a lot of topics in the show that don't necessarily have to do with the physical hands-on mixing, but still stuff a mixed DJ does. And right now, a lot of DJs, because we're locked in, we love to mix. So we don't want to stop mixing, and there's no reason why we can't continue mixing as long as we have a audience in front of us. And even if that audience is, through the camera and all over the world, we're happy with that. And I try to do one or two mix shows a week, like I said, just because I love doing it, and I want to stay practiced and stay up with things and stay up with the new music, stay up and do everything. And that's basically what we're going to cover. Again, after this show tonight, you can join me over on my Instagram, DJ Michael Joseph on Instagram, and I'm going to be doing my first set I've ever done on Instagram, because I've been doing twitch.tv a lot, which if you want to go over there and check some stuff out, I will be there again Friday, twitch.tv/DJ Michael Joseph. But tonight I'm going to be on Instagram, but I'm going to be doing Instagram from a computer. And I'm going to show you a little bit later on how to do that. Instead of doing it from a phone, I'm going to teach you how to do it from a computer. So like I said, we're going to talk about everything and cover whatever you might need to say. Hello, Robin. Making sure I say hello, everybody in chat, and everybody's here. So we're going to jump right into this. Again, if you just joined us, kind of hold your questions to the end, because I'm covering everything tonight. And as you can see, I have a lot of my setup here tonight. to kind of get you a little view from the other side of the studio from when you've seen my shows over there. And I'm going to show a little bit of everything on both sides of the cameras. What I do in my setup is different than most people's because I run everything I stream from those shows. Like not right now, because right now I'm on the studio computer. And the studio computer is a little different. And I have it set up with two big giant monitors up here. It's where I do all my work, my editing, my videos, my audio edits, all that kind of stuff, my writing, my articles, my scripts for my videos, everything's done on this side. But when I go over there and do the mixing, everything, the broadcasting software, the DJ software, watching the chats, everything is done from this computer right here. It's done from one computer. So I wanted to show what I do that's a little bit different, but whatever you do, it can be your style and the way you do it. So you don't have to do it this way. If you just end up just setting up your phone, I'm going to show you a couple things about how to set up your phone and just DJ from your phone. And we're going to be talking a little bit about all of that tonight. You can use a laptop, you can use a tower, you can use a tablet, you can use a phone, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to start. I have a whole lot of pictures to show tonight. And again, if you have a question, just jot it down. Catch me at the end because I'm going to try to get through all of this as fast as I can, but still cover and answer questions on all of it because I think the questions are going to be all over the place from every different aspect of what I'm doing. So I'm going to change screens now. And first thing I want to say is that, a lot of people, streaming's new to them. But I've luckily been both into DJing and technology for decades. And this is the furthest back I could find pictures of that I did live streaming online like I do now. But I wish I remember what website it was on. But they used to do the same thing in 2004. So I've been DJing, streaming that long. As you can see, the camera quality back then was crap. You could hardly even see anything because of camera qualities. But the audio quality was really bad too back then. That's a banner that when I used to tour, that was my banner that was behind my merch table. And I just set that up where I was DJing at, and it was behind me there in my little studio at that time. But I did a whole bunch of different shows from there. And I also did a show from my friend John's studio. He's a good friend of mine, an extremely talented guitarist. Did some stuff from his too and kind of played around with a lot of stuff. Like I said, it's just something I've been doing a long time. I enjoy the online stuff. I enjoy the live crowd too, but DJing online to me is just, I'm DJing. So it doesn't matter whether there's people standing in front of me or not. I love to mix. So let's kind of bounce through everything I have here. This is what it looks like from the other side, from where I'm standing. Like you're seeing the back of that. So that's my setup, including this monitor right here, which we're going to talk about the monitor. You can see my camera that's over top of the decks, my all the different stuff there, and that's the view from this way. And I'm going to be showing you all of these things that are back there, so that you guys can kind of see what goes on there. Let's start with the laptop. My laptop is a gaming computer, the one that's over there. I have a secondary backup one that's not a gaming computer, but it's also Lenovo. It's a really nice Lenovo Yoga that I absolutely love. All of them are solid state. That one there is dual solid state, and it has an NVIDIA graphics card on it. A whole bunch of other stuff too. I mean, it's a very, very powerful computer. It's large. It's giant. If you don't believe me how large it is, ask Dan, because I ended up talking Dan, from our Disc Jockey News guy, Dan Carpenter, talked him into getting it too. And it's a very big laptop, but it's ridiculously powerful, and that's why I can run everything off of that. Some of the connections that I have on there, as on the right-hand side over here, I have an Ethernet plug there that I'm plugged into. I have an HDMI out that's going to this monitor because I'm running two monitors when I'm DJing. So not only am I doing all the software, but I'm running two monitors, and I'll show you later what those are. The first USB there goes down to the Denon MC7000, and then the other one goes to a hub because I'm just out of ports, and trust me, I'm running a whole bunch of stuff on the hubs. And the other side of the computer, that's the hub right there that I'm using. I hope I got a picture of the left side. But in that hub, I have the mouse that I'm using because, like I said, I'm doing two different screens. Hey, Dan's in there. What's going on? I mentioned, how's it going? Because I run two different screens, so I run a mouse when I'm doing that show. I don't run a mouse when I DJ. But when I'm doing this thing, because I have to go back and forth, the red one is a cord that goes up to a USB mixer that I'm going to be talking about. Next one over is the LED bar that I have on the case to kind of shine down on the decks. And the final one is the Logitech cam that I'm actually working on tonight, which I'll show you where it sets there in a bit. So, and then we go to the left side. Left side is just power, and then that USB goes to the camera that's over top of the decks, and I'll be talking about that. So I just want to show you all the plugs and why that computer makes it very unique to do what I do, because it just has a whole buttload of stuff. We do a little scrolling here on my notes. Whoops. There we go. All right, so this is what I'm looking at from the other side. The left screen is virtual DJ, and I'm DJing from the left side, and that's basically all that's on there. But on the right side is everything. It's on the right side of the secondary screen is the OBS software, which I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight. The top left is me monitoring the feed to make sure that I have the feed going, and that little video window down below is what virtual is spitting out. So if I was DJing videos out somewhere, that would be what would be on this TV screen or on the wall or whatever I was doing. But I put it on that screen, and then I capture it so that if you see up here in the right-hand corner of this thing right up here, that is actually that little window down on the left being captured and then broadcast. Because what gets broadcast is what's over here on the right monitor. So what you're seeing at the top right monitor. But I have to have both of those, and I'm jumping back and forth between the DJ stuff that I'm doing and switching scenes, which I'll show you about the switching scenes on the right-hand screen. So that's there. So this is kind of what it looks like on the right screen. So like I said, I'm capturing it up close, and you're going to see all the different scenes that I've created here and all the different aspects, all the different things that are within that scene that I've also kind of created. This is the USB mixer that I run, and it's actually the one I'm hooked up to right now on this computer, and I use it on that one for a little different reason, because when I hook up to virtual lets me choose multiple sound cards, and not all software lets you do that, but virtual let me choose multiples. So I have the sound card that's within the MC7000 that's running the music out, but because this headset mic that I'm on, which I'll be talking about that too, does not have power, and I don't have a Phantom Power box, I go through that. So all it is that within virtual, and I'll show you here in a minute, that the music is coming out of the sound card that's within the 7000, but my voice is coming from the sound card on this. And other shows I do, like when I'm doing one with two people on Zoom, I need to be able to hear the other person. So this being used as a sound out and a sound in, a mic and a headphone, I can monitor both, and there's no lag time, because sometimes USB audio sometimes gets a little bit of lag, but running it this way, I get no lag, plus I can plug other things into it if I want to. And one of the cool things with this is showing you how big it is setting next to the laptop, so you can kind of see how big it is there next to the laptop. But with this setup right here, no joke, if you want to stream from your phone, USB cord coming out of the back right here, okay? And this is the other end, and then I put a little attachment on that goes from a USB-A to USB-C, and then plug that into my phone, and my phone powers this, so I don't have to have any other power. My phone powers this, and then I plugged a regular XLR mic into that, and it sounds absolutely perfect going into the phone. Now, not all phones can take that. Not all phones can read, because I think it's a DAC chip, digital audio converter chip. Not all phones have them, but it's USB-C, and some do. And it lets you be able to do stuff like this. I have the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and basically, if you wanted to stream from your phone and you had a USB mixer like this and the adapter, you could plug your controller to go down into that mixer, and then that mixer into your phone, and then your phone out, and you would have audio that would be crystal clear, no interruptions, no nothing. But I think that's kind of neat how it is. There's buttloads of them. Ben Stowe did a video on Disc Jockey News a couple nights ago. Go check it out, where he talks about some of the ones that they sell over at NLFX, and he goes into a lot more detail than, hey, this works. So you know how Ben is, but that's just wanted to show you that. This is the camera that I use. It is the C920 by Logitech. I've had it for so many years, it's not even funny. This is like one of the originals. It is 1080p. It doesn't go any higher than 1080p. 30 frames a second. Their newer ones go 4K, 60 frames a second. They're pretty amazing. They're more expensive. If you were to go hunt for this right now, I would tell you don't buy it right now, because 2 months ago, before we all got in this lockdown, it was selling for about 50 or 60 bucks, this version, the regular C920. There's also a 22 that's a business, and that's the other thing. You have to go to Logitech's website and look what each camera does, okay? Because one of the cameras is made for business and has a much wider frame of vision than some of them. Some of them are cost more because they come with a special software, so businesses don't have to worry about their being hacked if they're doing some kind of conferencing. But this one, about 2 months ago, was selling for about 50 or 60 bucks. Now it's well over 120 now if you want to buy it. So they are gouging the prices on people really bad. So hold off on it, but I recommend this one because it has its own onboard processor. So if you feel the top of it, it's the one I'm talking into right now. It's actually warm. So you don't have to have a powerful computer to get good video with this, because it processes it before it ever hits your computer. And that's one of the reasons why I like these. There's several other ones out there. There's the 920 HD Pro, 920S, the 922 is the business one. They have a budget one called the C615. Microsoft has a really good one in the budget range called the Microsoft LifeCam HD. And then the Razer Kiyo, I think it's, or Kiyo, Kiyo, is very good. And what makes it unique is it has its own light ring around it, so that if you're in a dark room, you don't have good lighting, that camera has its own light, so you could be talking into it and it's giving you the light you need to capture that. This is where the camera sets, and if you see me down in the right-hand corner, it would be setting right there. You can put it on a tripod if you want, but because of my setup here, I just put it right there, and that's where it sets for the night. Pretty basic. The other camera I use, no joke, the one that's over top of the deck, is as my friend likes to call it, a no pro, which is a fake GoPro, and some people call them faux pros. I call it a no pro, and I paid, I think, $17 for the one that's over top of that. And as you can see, this was from today. I mean, this is from eBay today. All you have to search for is action camera or sports camera, and all of these come up, and they're all different brands. I think the one I have is called J-Cam, and there's a Blue Cam, and then there's all these other ones. But they are basically GoPros, but cheap. And like I said, you can get them anywhere from $12 up. And like I said, I paid $17, and I've been using it for years. And if you ever see any of the videos I do on my motorcycle, that's one that is 5 years old, and I still use it on motorcycle. The same one I bought 5 years ago, $17, still working great. And all I do is plug a micro USB into it, and I'll show you here a little bit how I do it, and then plug it into the computer, and it reacts just like a regular webcam, but it's got that ultra wide view, and that's why I use it over top the decks, because I can get the whole deck really simple. But that's the other camera, and you can go to, like I said, you can go to eBay right now and check it out. That's what the camera looks like on its little stand, because there's a stand that I'm going to show you about here in a bit. And this one did come with this special little bracket that it pops up in there. So it's holding it on this bracket, and you can see the USB cord right there that's plugged into it, and it just runs down and into the computer over there. And that's for the deck. When you plug it in, you get a choice of mass storage. That means it's looking at the videos that are in there, or PC camera. And you just click down, press enter, and it's now a PC camera. One of the reasons, like I said, why I like to use virtual is because it lets me do so many things. Right now, I want you to take a look at the different sound cards. So I'm outputting 3 different ways. The show that I'm going to be doing tonight, 3 different ways, and I also do it the same way on Twitch. So the first master, out 1 and 2, is going to the feed that is being what you would hear if you're watching me on Twitch or one of those. So it's straight audio from the computer itself, because remember, we're doing everything one computer, out to there. The second one is using the Denon's sound card to give me monitors in the headphones. So I can choose where I want even my monitoring to come from, because the virtual lets you do that. And then the third one is what is getting kicked out to the USB, so that if I want to monitor or plug speakers in, I can plug it in through there and monitor both my voice or headphones or everything. So it's kicking it out 3 different places, and it's going into the 7000 also with the inputs. So if I want to record it or something like that, also the booth out, that is also for the booth out. So both of those are in there. So that lets me take all the different outs that I possibly could have and individualize them for each one of their individual needs. And again, that's why I like virtual, because it literally leaves you limitless as what you want to set up. Again, why John and I didn't go through this the other night is because a lot of stuff that I cover is really detailed, and it's not going to fit everybody. So I'm just kind of explaining what I do and why I do it. The other thing you have to have, I covered all the hardware, so that was the last piece of hardware that I want to cover. We're getting into the software, the virtual, and then if you get the Logitech, you have to make sure you get the older Logitech software, okay? Because it has functionality that the software that it comes with now does not. And I'll show you a little bit about that. Also, I meant to mention on the hardware cameras, if you have like a DSLR camera and you have a converter that can convert it down to a USB type feed, you can also use those. Those cost a little bit, but you can have a really high-end camera feeding in as a webcam too if you choose to do that. But this is what the older software, it is version, is search for me for Windows. It would be Logitech webcam software for Windows 10, build 13.51.828 is what you're looking for. And it looks like this when you kick it open. Then you go to Quick Capture. Let me scroll down here, come back over here. Oops. Come on, there we go. And then you get this. So the left side over here is where your video would be. And what you can choose photo or video there. And then it starts giving you different things that you can adjust. The distance you can zoom in automatically. It lets you turn off or on the autofocus, which is a big thing because it does crazily chase the autofocus bad. Then you get into the webcam settings. Like I said, you can turn off the autofocus. You can turn your focal level. So if you sit in a way that where you could, focus the level on you, but yet get the background blurred, this gives you that option where the other software doesn't, I don't feel does it as well. And then you get into the advanced settings that lets you do gain, exposure, brightness, contrast, color intensity, white balance, mirrored, so that if you have a camera that's showing like a logo backwards, you can correct it with this before it goes anywhere. But like I said, this one you definitely want to get if you're end up getting a Logitech software. Go search for the Logitech webcam software for Windows 10, or some of the software for Logitech does not work with certain OSs for Mac. Just like Mac has problems with, because it comes out, they don't pre-release it. You'll have to find the one that works with the version of Mac that you have until they get it updated or whatever. But that's one, I think, one of the most important things is when it comes to Logitech software is getting that Logitech cameras, getting that software. It's really important. The other thing that I run is when I'm actually broadcasting on tonight is called OBS, and it stands for Open Broadcast Software. It is a free software that's it's community worked on, so they have different people that work on the code for it and fix things and update it and everything. You can donate to them if you want, but this is basically what it looks like. And up at the top here is where you see what's being broadcast out. And right now in that sequence there, you're seeing the overhead camera to the decks. You're seeing me over in the bottom right. You're seeing my logo. It's a motion GIF that's repeating over and over and over. And then the top right is the video capture that Virtual was kicking out if I was playing a music video. It has static text there that's showing you, where you can put a request. And down at the bottom is a scrolling text that if you wanted to leave me a tip, you can. Going down further, this is what the different scenes look like. So you have two different ways to set this up, to where it's either like this and you just choose the stuff on the left, changing your scenes, or you can do it like this, to where the right is what people are seeing, the left is what you're setting up. So you could click something on the left, determine is that what you want to go live, and then once you're ready to go live, you then hit the transition section in the center, and then it transitions over to the right. But I run it in this, so all I'm doing is clicking on my scenes. So right now you see this Twitch 2-deck main 2.2 is there, because I've made a lot of different versions of it, and you can save them and just slide them to the top or slide them to the bottom, whatever you want. So right now, as you see, all the different things that can be up on that deck are right there. The request text, the tip text, the deck camera, corner logos. There's a black backing on one section because I wanted it to kind of be a little bit, so there's nothing shines through it, that the text can stay on top. The video captures coming from Virtual, the Logitech camera, another section of the blackout background, window capture. If I turn that on, I can add another window in there if I choose to, the text, and then I can also show Virtual DJ flat out. And I can turn those on and off, and they change per scene. So as you see the different scenes, one would be like this, that everyone would be seeing, to where the deck's up in the corner, I'm in the bottom right, and then the video that's coming from Virtual is on the left. And then I can switch a scene and show the deck. So I may be showing something I'm doing on the deck, the top right is the video, and the bottom is the camera on me. And then I can go to a third one where I'm in the main frame, the deck's on the top left, and the video that's playing is in the bottom left. And that's the thing about this, that you can just switch around and do whatever you want to. And it does come in both the 32 and 64-bit. And if you go back here to the different settings, you see there is different sounds there, that the audio mixer, so you can pick different channels and have them come on. So like if my starting at the beginning, where you saw the video I threw down at the beginning, it had sound on it, and I didn't want to hear the sound, so I can actually go into the audio setting for just that video that's playing, the show beginning, and turn the video off so it's not playing to me, it's only playing to you. So I can run videos that run in the background and you're hearing the sound, I'm not, or vice versa. If I need to hear the sound and you don't, I can change stuff that far with it. I can make complete adjustments. I can mute me while stuff's going on. As you see that one there, the only mic that's live during that scene is the mic that's on. And I'm sorry, the mic is on that scene is both the audio from the DJing and the microphone, because in that scene it's set to come through the USB mixer. And like I said, you can change those, change the volume, so you could have the mic on one, the music on another, and have separate volumes for each of those, however you want them to be. So those are the different settings for that. Going out to multiples, and that's what we're doing tonight. That I don't know where everyone is watching. I know it's going out to bunches of different Facebook pages. It's going out to several YouTube pages and a few others. But this is mine when I do Twitch. So when you see my broadcast that I say, hey, come watch me on Twitch, it's also being broadcast on Facebook until they kick me out, which I'll be talking about that later. It's going to Periscope, which is Twitter, YouTube, my DJ Michael Joseph YouTube channel, and the twitch.tv/DJ Michael Joseph. And all of them are coming from the same feed. So the one feed coming from OBS through Restream can go out to all the different things at once. So it's like being on several networks at one time. If you want to think the old days like TVs, I'm putting on a DJ set and it's on several different networks. And I like to look at all the stuff that I do when it comes to DJing that as different things as billboards. So no, I'm not getting paid to go DJ back there, but it's a billboard where people see me and I'm on their mind. So if they have a gig or something, I'm in their mind. They're going, hey, we should give MJ a call. He's always ready to go. And that's kind of what it's saying. Every little thing you do, every post you do on a social media, every video you do, everything is a billboard to advertise what you do, whether it be a mobile DJ, mixed DJ, whatever. It's to advertise you, your brand, yourself, something like that. And my idea is that I want to be everywhere, so no matter where you drive in town, you're going to see a billboard with my face on it, metaphorically when it comes to all the digital stuff. And that's what you do. But Restream lets me do 4 maximum on the free version. And it can only be personal pages. But if you pay for it, it can go to a lot more, and not just personal pages, but business pages and all kinds of stuff like that. But the free version, which I use, is 4 outputs maximum, and it has to be personal pages. Because I do have a DJ Michael Joseph Facebook page that's separate from my DJ Michael Joseph personal page, which is actually still my business page because I don't post anything personal ever. But it can only go to the one because it's considered a personal page. This is all the different sites plus more that Restream can kick out to. So if any of these are places you want to go and you pay for it, you can go to all of these and more, which I think it's kind of cool how that works. This is what Twitch looks like from the side. If I was DJing, the video would be right there. You would see different people. Chat would be going on over there. And like I said, Twitch is kind of its own thing. It's mainly a lot of gamers, but because it's an outlet right now for DJs where we can get a video to go out and let it run for multiple hours without getting shut off. They don't shut you off when you're doing live, but because of the way it works, it does save videos. And if you're paying for a free account, it will hold those videos for 14 days, but it will mute some of the audio because of copyright stuff, but it won't do that while you're live. If I go on Facebook, it will. If I go on, later on tonight, I'm going to do the thing on Instagram, it's going to cut me off at some point. I can do a 4 or 5 hour set on Twitch, and it's never going to cut me off, but it will mute the audio later of any copyrighted stuff. There's a lot of good stuff with that. Like I said, there's a lot there. There's also a site which I'm going to be doing tonight called Yellow Duck. And Yellow Duck lets you download a program onto your computer, and it lets you, in the same way that Restream works, it's almost identical, but it lets you stream from a computer to Instagram. So tonight I'm going to have the whole setup behind me with the multiple cameras going through OBS, all the different scenes, and I'm going to be going through a computer out through OBS, and then OBS to Yellow Duck, and Yellow Duck to Instagram. And that's one of the cool things that I don't know how long this is going to be. They're going to allow it. Instagram's kind of different the way they judge things. They do cut people off. I've seen so many DJs get cut off, but I've seen other ones get through. But this is how you go to Instagram from a computer, but you can also go Instagram Live from a tablet with some sort of attachment, whether it be an iRig or like the mixer that I told you about, and have that hooked up and streaming there from your mixer, your controller, whatever you end up using. But Yellow Duck is a cool place. And there's another one it's called Lily or something like that, but it works the same way and goes to Instagram. You can also use something like BlueStacks, which is an Android emulator. And what it does is it emulates a phone on your computer. So I have this on several of my computers to where I can play Android games on a Windows computer by using the emulator, and you can also use the emulator to stream to those sites via computer. Lots of different options. And if you want to stream live to TikTok, you have to have at least 1,000 followers. And I've actually seen a lot of people have more than 1,000, and they don't have the option for live. But that's kind of their rule, that you have 1,000 followers, you can do live TikToks, and they're longer than the short ones. But if you look down here at the bottom, oops, that's not where I want to be. I want to zoom in there. It did not let me zoom in. Oh, I guess that is zoomed in. You see video or live down at the bottom. And that's where, if you have 1,000 followers, you can go live, and it would say it there. I don't have 1,000 followers, so mine doesn't say live. I stole this picture from somebody on the internet just to kind of show what it is there. I'm seeing people drop questions in the chat and stuff. Hold off. I will hit those in the end. Like I said, I want to kind of get through everything and cover it. Think of the questions that you might want to have at that point. So now we've gotten through all the software. Next thing we're going to talk about is accessories. And I'm not talking about jewelry either. This is something that if you want to go and broadcast from your phone, there are attachments much like this, and this is the one I have, and I love this thing because you can attach it to a tripod or something, and it rotates up or down so you can get the perfect level. So I've done some things outside before, and I couldn't get the quite level on the tripod, and all I do is twist this a little bit, and the phone is level. And it gives you an option for all kinds of stuff, and it will attach right on top of a tripod. This cost me about $10, but like I said, if you want to end up doing streaming from your phone or something like that, purchase one of these and a cheap, a tripod, and probably less than $15, you can have a good sturdy setup to DJ to record from. And like I said, this one adjusts a lot. I have a big giant Note 10 Plus, and it's way like phones could get a lot bigger, and this little adapter will hold that. This is the tripod that is holding the camera over top of the decks. It's called a monopod, believe it or not, and it is the company is called Neewer, Neewer, and basically those legs are underneath my laptop, and the camera is attached to the top there. And this is kind of what it looks like from the side, to where those legs are underneath my laptop, and the camera is over top of the decks, and that's how I get that overhead view on that $17 GoPro attached to that $12 monopod stand. They call it a monopod stand, and it has, and like again, the little thing that the GoPro is attached to does have the standard 1/4-inch tripod threading. So if you find one of those, like I said, you can find those anywhere. They're cheap. When I ordered my cheap GoPro, it came with one of those, and that's where that's from, and I just attached it to that. That's the last picture I have to show, but I still want to hit a couple things, and then I'll take some questions. And I can go back to other things if you want to go on there. But there is other adapters you might need. Keep in mind that this is an older monitor, and it takes the VGA hookup, and I had to get a VGA to HDMI adapter to plug into the computer. So you might need to do that. The hub that I use is a powered hub, and I showed a picture of it plugged in. I recommend the powered plugs because it's not drawing more off your computer, so that means you got a really steady power for if you want to hook the camera. Like I said, my camera's hooked up to it and a bunch of stuff, and I don't have to worry about it, so that's why I run the powered. And the other thing is to have a good internet connection. Now, hardly any computers anymore come with an Ethernet connection, but you can buy a USB-A 3.0 to Ethernet adapter. So you can plug into that port or plug into one of your open USB things and have a direct Ethernet connection, because then that takes you to the final thing in all of this, the copyright and miscellaneous stuff. Number one, get a good connection. That's why I say be plugged in. That's why this is plugged in, because my studio, when I built the studio, I put in multiple Ethernet plugs in the studio so I can plug direct line in. Keep in mind that when it comes to streaming, why you want to have a good connection is because Twitch recommends, and most streaming things recommend, that you have at least 4 to 6 megabytes up speed. Now, I know John was telling me with his, I think it's fiber optics that he has, I'm not sure, they get a ridiculous amount of up speed on the internet. Comcast is the one that I have, and I have it because it lets me have free Comcast anywhere I go. So in the city, anywhere I'm at DJing, I can stream music if I have to because I'm online wherever I go. But they are so limited on their upstream is that I'm paying for, I think it's next, not the low, it's far from the lowest, but there's a high speed, and then there's one above that, it's the one I pay for, and it gives me 6 up. And if I jump to their highest, which I think is 300 down, I'm only going to get 15 up. So depending upon your service provider, your ups and downs may be extremely limited. So I'm at the limit right now. What I'm doing, like I said, because I'm plugged in, I am considered green. I'm running 30 frames a second with about 33% CPU usage right now with the stuff that I'm doing right now with all of this. Back there, I don't use hardly any of that. Keep in mind also, test. Just don't plug things in and go, I'm going live. Because if you go live and bore someone to death, they're probably not going to tune in the next time you come back. So test it. Restream allows you to shut all of those off and monitor your restream from your feed. So I can send my feed from my OBS to Restream with all the feeds shut off. Check, make sure everything's going. I do it on a second computer because that's one of the things that is in that arrow thing that I showed you at the beginning, is that I have a second laptop back there that I monitor the chat when I do my DJing, my live DJ streams, and I also monitor the audio. I check the audio back there to make sure audio is coming through. So a second computer or something like that, a phone that you can check the audio is kind of important. But test that before you go live. And the last thing is do not expect people to just find you. Right now on Twitch, because like I said, it is mainly a gaming website, there's not a lot of DJs on there, so it's a find me kind of thing. And you will slowly build more and more people. Again, that's why I'm doing Instagram tonight, to push people towards my Friday night one that I always do that's on Twitch. So if you're hanging out Friday night, 10 p.m., I'm over on Twitch. Look for DJ Michael Joseph on Twitch or download the app. But that's kind of why I'm doing the Instagram thing only tonight, to push over there for Friday nights. But don't expect people to find you. Promote by posting, promote by doing stuff on other sites, promote other DJs. A friend of mine is doing a fundraising DJ set Friday night, and I'm going to be promoting his through my site to watch his set, and 100% of the proceeds go to a cause. And I think it's kind of important just to support each other, especially in this time right now. And what better way to support some of your friends than share their feeds? Somebody's got a DJ thing going on. Share it. For those of you who follow us on Disc Jockey News, we have a chill out room done through Zoom where you can come each evening and hang out. I think it's going on right now. I think it's djntv.com/chill. And it's basically, the Zoom thing with a bunch of people just hanging out. And a couple Saturdays ago, I said, hey, let's go club hopping. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, let's go look and see what other DJs are doing. So as a group, 20 of us, we went and checked out the different live feeds that were going on. And it was amazing to get to see the different styles of music people were DJing from their houses, from their kitchens, from all these different places. The setups they have, we even came across a guy spinning on CDs, no joke, doing a live DJ set, spinning on CDs, which was kind of amazing. Some people had amazing setups with great backgrounds. Other people were just simple, hanging out on their countertop in their kitchen. It's a great window to see what everybody's doing. Some of the music they were playing was just crazy amazing. And I really like the chance to get to do that. So kind of help promote people and different things like that. So that is everything that I have tonight. I'm going to go back and check out the chat and see if I can find any questions and answer your questions. I see a lot of people commenting in there. I will do my best to try to get through these if I can. Stretch this out here. So let's go to the top here. We have someone from Canada. Carlos is from Canada. Chris Simpson's in here tonight. What's up? Scott Carroll. Hello. Rob. MC7000. That is correct. Dan's here. See what else we have in here. Yeah, that's a bunch of scenes. Trust me. Chris was saying about a bunch of scenes that, like I said, that because I'm doing the Disc Jockey News show, which does totally different scenes the thing I'm doing tonight is totally different scenes than the live set. So keep in mind that depending on what you do, you make them and you save them. The OBS is in there. Robin put the thing for OBS. They just did an update today. I really like some of the stuff there. I have a Canon T3 camera. Charlie asked, you mentioned something earlier about a converter for webcam. Is it a USB? What it is it is a Black Box is one of the companies that make There's kind of the famous one. And what it is, it's a little hub that lets you come out of your HDMI out of whatever. So if it's a DSLR, HDMI out, or if you have, let's say you want to convert a DVD to your computer, and you plug the HDMI into this box, and then the other end of the box kicks it out into a USB plug that plugs into your computer, and then it comes with software that then that records it. So if you have the box and the software, it will then read the DSLR cam like a camera. And I've seen a lot of guys do those, and those have ridiculous quality compared to something like this. So if you have that and you have the extra money to spend on those converter boxes, I think Black Box, and there's a couple other companies, basically you're going to look for HDMI to USB converter box. They're kind of expensive, anywhere from $150 up to $300 for some of them, depending on what adapters you have and options you have for recording. But that's basically what those are. Can you say what the name again of the camera stand controller? That is called a Neewer. I'm going to say that wrong. I'm going to go back and look it up here. Neewer, lightweight adjustable camera tabletop monopod stand. I'll say it one more time. Neewer, lightweight adjustable camera top monopod stand. I got it from Amazon, and I think it was about $12. Wasn't much. Comcast here as well. Problem with upload stream is the cable specs, the limitations. Yeah, that's the thing. It all depends, like I said, but that's the minimum that Twitch says, 4 to 6. And I've also heard a lot of other ones say for businesses, for people who do conferencing on businesses, that's minimum. Like I said, I'm doing it with the 6 right now is what I test mine at here in the studio with the Direct Connect. And like I said, I'm not even in the yellow with the feed. I'm feeding on green, so it's fine. Went live on Facebook, but only I could see it. I broadcast from virtual. There are some issues. I know what you're doing there. You're going from virtual out, and that's why I say go through OBS instead of virtual out, because virtual allows you to stream to all these places directly. But if you go this way, you can control what you're doing, and I think it works a little bit better. And there is a lag. Trust me, there's a lag between Twitch and Facebook bad, because Dan Carpenter pointed that out to me the other night, that he had Twitch on one thing and Facebook on the other, and Twitch was happening pretty quickly, and then it was like 30 seconds before what happened on Twitch kicked over on Facebook. So that's just the way it is, and as stuff goes out, because you understand it has to go through a whole bunch of different servers and stuff like that. Virtual OBS from a single laptop. My setup is the same as yours, but I do not turn off anything from OBS. But do you turn off anything from OBS? No. I as you saw how many things I have running there. So all of it's running at the same time. I don't know how many people's computers can do that. This one's about 4 years old. It's not new, but just I think the way that they set up the gaming laptops, it becomes a little different. But I've been wanting to test it on my new one, which is not a gaming laptop, but is still an SSD. That's dual SSDs in there. So it's fast, but give it, like I said, test it. Give it a try. Paul said he did an 80s vinyl only feed one night. Nice. I've seen a couple of those. The only problem I had with my vinyls is they warped. Yeah, I walked away from vinyl records in the 90s. As soon as I could do CDs, I was happy to walk away from needles and all that stuff. I don't need it. If you don't think I'm a real DJ because I use controller, think what you want. I don't care. I have OBS with a Twitch setup. Evan says, I tested out Twitch feed from OBS and got an audio stream, but no video, only black screen. You have to go in on each one of those scenes and pick your camera. Like, that overhead camera, the GoPro, is funny because I can turn on the computer, turn on the camera, start OBS, and then from there I have to unplug that, not this Logitech one, I never have to do it with this, but with that one I have to unplug it, after OBS is started, plug it back in, and then it picks it up. I have to go back into the settings, and there's drop downs from which camera you choose for that. So you're going to have a camera in those settings, and then in that whatever that camera is, then you choose what camera is going to be on that camera in the scene. And you have to go back in and drop down and pick that camera to then feed, and then it feeds. So sometimes you'll have to, depending on what camera you're using, you have to pick it again and let it refresh. It's picky. It takes a lot to get these up. That's why I say, if you have any idea how much time I spent on those scenes, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours just getting the scenes and everything set together so that I'm able to go live. I'm still scrolling down there. The mic, I forgot to mention this. Nick asked about the mic. I wanted to mention that in there. I think it's in my notes somewhere. You can use any mic you want, because I see a lot of guys just use handheld mics. I use this when I'm live. This is called Headset Buddy, and it is a cheap, and I mean cheap, little headset mic that I have attached to one of the round-the-head things. So I have a round-the-head thing, and that is there with that, and I run it through OBS, and I crank it up. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to adjust that. You have the high and low on that little USB mixer for this channel. I have them cranked. I have them cranked. So I'm going to flatten them out and let you hear what it's like flattened, and then I'm going to go back to this. So, all right, so this is flat, dead middle for this mic with no adjustments, nothing. But when I take the high and the low and max them out on that mixer, we get a little different sound. And this is what we're back to. And again, it's like a $12 mic. I like it because it's hands-free. Like when I'm doing the shows for Disc Jockey News, I do not have to, I don't have a mic in front of me where I'm hitting with my hands because I talk with my hands. Heck, I hit this thing a few minutes ago, and that's why I use it. But when I do the shows, I also keep it on for the shows so that I'm mixing, and if I want to say something to the audience, that's one of the keys about the copyright stuff, that you will get shut down. There's no way around it. You're going to get shut down. Some people get around it. I don't know how. I think what it is, it's a combination of things like talking over your music, using effects on the music, not playing popular songs, stuff like that, doing quick mixes. Will get you longer. Other ones will just cut you off depending on what you're playing. But you're going to get shut down. So I like to have this mic here so that I can just talk into the mic while I'm mixing and doing stuff, and it keeps that feed going a little bit more with that constant feed. So it's not an expensive mic. But like I said, it's called a microphone body, headphone buddy, or headset buddy. Headphone or headset buddy. What it's designed for is that if you have headphones, you can add this with a little clip on. It makes a little clip on for a headphone to have a mic on any headphone. But I bought it and liked it, and then attached it to the little talkie thingy here, the thing that goes around the head, and it has become the perfect mic for what I do, and that's why I choose that. Paul says gaming laptops are legit. Yes, gaming laptops are great and powerful, but they're also much heavier than everything else. So that's the trade-off. Like I said, my backup computer is the same size screen. It's a 15.6, but is several pounds lighter and much smaller because there's no bezel and all that stuff. So it's a trade-off depending on what you want to carry. I like it. I don't know if I'll buy another gaming one. This is my second gaming laptop that I've owned, that I've DJ'd from. I'm not sure if I'll do that on from the future, because I have the other one. Like I said, I put a terabyte M.2 in that other my backup one, and then split it into a C and a D drive, and they're partitioned it, and that's how I kind of run that. Where C, the same as on this one, because this one literally has two, and the C is the operating system and the D is the music, and I've kind of kept that separate. I do not carry an external anywhere. I don't want to do that. I've thought about that. I don't want to do that. So I DJ from my computer. I mean, I couldn't tell you, maybe every couple of years I may want to DJ with somebody, and that's about it. So I'm not going to carry around a laptop for once every couple of years. That's just me. You can do what you want, and that's great, because I can buy a terabyte or a 2 terabyte M.2 and put it in here. This is a USB-C, and that can be a SSD M.2 terabyte of music you can carry in something this big. So that's the future if you want to do external. Lacey or Lachey or Lace, however you want to say that hard drive that a lot of DJs use, just put out a new one that is a multi-terabyte, really, really fast Lightning 3.0 USB-C Lightning speed 1 and 2 terabyte durable drive. About 150 and up on that, so check that out. Yeah, the dude says he has a 17-inch laptop. I couldn't imagine carrying that around. My 15.6, that thing there is just too much to carry around as it is. Like I said, my other one's much smaller, and that's what I think I want to go with it in the future. So do we have any other questions? We're about 10 till. I know I covered through stuff fast, but I kind of wanted to do that so that we could share this, and you can share this video with other people that ask, how do you do it? I am able to answer more detailed questions if you have them, whether it be now or later. You can leave them in the chat below. I'd prefer you send me a direct message through any one of the social medias or whatever, because I'll get to that faster. But if you leave it a message on the YouTube videos, it may be a week or two before I go back and check them, because I don't get the notifications John does for all the things that people make comments. So I have to go back and literally go to each video and check them. So any questions? Like I said, I'm looking out there. I'm seeing people. Webbin's on Facebook. We have some people on Facebook. Several people on Facebook. Jazzy's on Facebook. A lot of people on. We have a good amount of people on both tonight, Facebook and YouTube. So I appreciate that. Bright Night Entertainment says, I am more concerned the possibility of trying to stream weddings, so that means I have to make everything mobile, assuming a decent Wi-Fi connection. How would you even try to start to build that? I don't. What I do is that I pay a little extra for streaming from the phone. Like I said, all I'm doing is when I'm out, I'm on Wi-Fi, Comcast Wi-Fi that you can pick up, public Wi-Fi. I'm not streaming every song. What I'm doing is it's there in case I need to grab a song really quickly, and all I have to do is go into one of the searches. I pay for iDJ Now and Deezer, and drag and drop songs. Once that song loads, because you drag and drop it, and it loads the same speed as if an MP3 in your computer. Once that waveform is filled, your Wi-Fi could die, and you could play that song. With the iDJ Now, you can cache them and save them for when you're offline. The Deezer, you cannot cache them, so you have to be online to play the Deezer. But I would never tell anybody to use the Wi-Fi for all of their songs. It is a backup. You need to curate your own library that travels with you and that you have a minimum of 3 copies of. Keep a copy at home, keep a copy on your computer, and make a copy to give to a friend so that if your house catches on fire and all your equipment and your backups burn up, you at least have your music. All you have to do is go out and buy a new laptop, throw some software on it, and you're back to making money again. So think about that. Like I said, for the Wi-Fi, if I can't get it for the Comcast, I do a hub off here, and it's instant, and it uses, when you're downloading a streaming song in that sense to throw and DJ, it's not the same size as downloading a song. So I could spend all night streaming, and it uses almost no data, because I don't have an unlimited. I have a partial one, and I never even come close to my data. And like I said, so one of the two, but if you're at a place where you can't get Wi-Fi and you can't get phone signal, think about that ahead of time before you go. Like I said, that's why I say I believe everyone should curate their own library. Never, ever, ever rely on streaming, because let's say you have a song on a streaming that you absolutely love, and that streaming service loses its contract with that record label, and that song is no longer on that streaming service. You can no longer play that version of that song you like. It's gone. So get the versions you have, but like I said, it's great for backup. I can't tell you how many times, even little things like one night I was DJing, and I'm like, well, I want a short version of the song. I don't want to play the whole thing. I want something with a little bit of kick, so I went in there and searched for something like a Mamba Tone remix or something like that. There was a short, quick redrum, played the redrum, out, gone. I didn't have to leave my software and have to do anything. Everything's from there. But yeah, it's up to you. I may DM you if I run into any other issues. Great, that works. Backups, I can't tell you how much backup that you need to do. It's ridiculous. You just have to. Dave Henderson, I talked, if you go back when this video is over, go back and look at the video. I talked a whole section about Restream, talked about the free and paid versions, so you can check that out. No, Bright Knight says, the Owns Entertainment, I'm talking about streaming out to people who could not be there to watch. Oh, okay, that's a whole different story. You would need a good internet connection. Unless you got, well, with the 5G coming out, and one of the first 5Gs that are going to be coming out besides the phones, you're going to get really good 5G from the little hotspot pucks. Those are going to have better, and those you could use for that. But other things, streaming a ceremony, streaming a reception for family who couldn't be there, that's tricky. I would go if you really need to do that, and it's something that you feel you can charge for, because keep in mind, all this stuff, don't be afraid to charge for it. Everything you do in this business, pay for, is all write-off for your business. But if you're at a venue and you think you can do that, go check with them and go, hey, I have this thing coming up. They want me to do some streaming. Can I piggyback off your Wi-Fi? And go test the speed of the Wi-Fi. Go there if you can when there are other weddings going on, because there's a whole bunch of people that I'm sure are going to be using it too, and see what kind of speeds you can get. But unless you do your own hotspot or go off something else, test. But that's about the best option you could do. If I were doing something where streaming from that place, I would probably go from the phone. My phone has an unlimited. I would probably put it in some sort of sleep mode to where I can't get any messages and just stream, or something like that. That would be your most solid connection. That's the best way I could tell you. But if you wanted to go Wi-Fi, you'd have to do other things and test ridiculously. Good point, Brian. Even when you're at weddings and pick up, there will be guests that may still be leery of coming until it's completely goes away. Okay. So any other questions? I've been on here almost an hour. I've talked a lot, but I definitely can answer any questions before I go. Last couple of questions. Again, keep in mind that right after this, give me about 10 minutes. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to set up, and I'm going to be doing a short set tonight on Instagram only. But Friday night, I'm going to be doing my normal Friday night thing, open format. Last week, we got a lot of people request a lot of 90s. So, holy crap, I played a lot of 90s last Friday. So join me next Friday night. It will be on my Facebook. It will be on my YouTube. But those are the ones that I have to keep restarting. But if you go over to twitch.tv/DJ Michael Joseph, you get to watch the whole thing all the way through without any interruptions. But tonight I'm only on Instagram, so Instagram, go look for DJ Michael Joseph. I'm guessing I'm probably going to be there an hour and it'll kick me off, because that's about what I'm seeing most people, unless I'm playing some really weird edits, which I might. But I can definitely try to take some requests. You'll be able to see the multi-feed going on through a camera to Instagram. Instagram, it's DJ Michael Joseph. I'm DJ Michael Joseph everywhere except Facebook. It's the only place I'm not DJ Michael Joseph. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything. I'm DJ Michael Joseph, except for Facebook. So, because I thought that was going to die. I didn't bother with that. I didn't think it was going to last long, because Facebook, MySpace went. I didn't think Facebook would last this long, so I didn't get that one. But you can search for me. I'm out there. So, any other questions? Yes, DJ Plaja, I can't say that name, sorry. When the video's over, go back and watch the video. I talked about Yellow Duck in the video. That's what I'll be using tonight for the Instagram feed is Yellow Duck. And there are other ones out there besides Yellow Duck. Robin did remind you, like we talked about earlier, the DJ and TV chill room is open if you want to go over there. It's not a room where people are DJing, but it's a place where DJs hang out and talk about anything from food to music to TV shows, cars. I've heard every topic imagine. You can ask questions. There's a lot of very, very intelligent people that come in there. Some pretty famous DJs drop in every once in a while. In the wedding scene, I've seen quite a few industry people come in, but a lot of places to go ask questions and or just hang out and BS with people who are just like you, stuck not being able to go out and make money doing what they love. So it's a great place to hang out. It's open every single night. Brian opens it. Brian S. Red opens it, and he opens it at 8, 9, 10 o'clock, whatever it is, and it stays open. You can just come in and out whenever you want to, hang out. If you don't want to have a camera, you don't have to turn your camera on. You can sit there with no camera, no audio, and just listen to everybody if you want, watch everybody. If you want to join in, you can do that too. The Yellow Duck stuff, like I said, I'm trying it out tonight. We'll see what kind of goes. I think everything fed, but like I said, if not, I'm going to work on other things. But again, if you have any questions, hit me up. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for watching this. I hope it helped. Feel free to share this video, like it, share it, because I want other people to know how to do this stuff if they want to do it. Also, don't forget, if you're a subscriber to Disc Jockey News, don't forget to click the bell so that it reminds you each and every time there's videos, because John has videos coming out all the time, and you get to know when the videos are there. And also, right now, because of this whole lockdown thing, John has opened up the entire DJ and TV Insiders area. All the videos that you normally have to pay for are free for everybody right now. So just drop over to djandtvinsiders.com and check out and sign up for that, where you can go check out all the videos for free right now, limited time. Without anything else, thank you guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, because it's a crazy world out there, y'all. Good night, and God bless.